All right, welcome back. We are right at the final confrontation, are we not? Good. Well then, let's see here. Yes, the Argent sword is right about to take on Sherris. Very exciting, no? Well, let's get into it. You all heard that name be screamed out through the glass. And the flames continue to roil.
I don't understand. How is Mimi still alive, or what's happening?
I have no idea. I don't know if we can communicate with Mimi. I don't...
What was that name? Lagrange? What was that it said?
Inqua?
Oh, I couldn't tell what it was. Oh.
It was...
I was trying to focus.
It was my name.
That's what I heard.
My name.
Oh.
It may have something to do with the containment that Sherris has been doing, that it's able to prolong.
Would I have remembered that it's a mimic? I'm assuming. Okay. Has anyone ever known a mimic to be able to harness this kind of energy, or
any magical creature should work
other way around, that it's being sucked
from?
Yeah.
For this long?
I mean, we don't know that this has been going on for this long.
Maybe just when it lifted? That was when?
It would have to be more. It would have to be further back than that to build this kind of containment.
Mm-hmm. But the fire might have been fed recently.
Yeah. That might have even been the boost to get us up in the air.
Inqua's gonna kind of not pound on the glass, but just be kind of like tap on the glass. Mimi, if you can hear me, are you here? Are you somewhere else? Are you within this room? This cage, or?
Message?
You just feel and see the flames continue to bounce within.
Do we see any connecting tubes? I know you said that there was like some roots outstretched from it, going down many different passages, but
yeah, the vines wrap around the base of it. Yeah.
Do we think I'll start calling him Inqua because I feel like now he can. Do you all think that this encasement can hold this spell plague? I do not recall.
It can hold it.
Unless it's put under a great deal of pressure from other forces. If the spell plague expands or something else crushes, it's glass.
If I were to, and then he's gonna raise his hand like he did back at the root. If I were to try something, do you think it could escape this containment?
Tim, you had the spell plague in the bottle. Did you cast when you had it in the bottle? Did it ever reach for you?
It always stayed in the bottle. I mean, I'm more worried, and I point at the roots that are going with the energy. I don't know how well they're holding it. That's what I would be concerned about.
Oh.
And that's what I'm concerned
because
about.
Yeah, you're right. The problem isn't what's contained in here. It's
what's in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn back around toward the doorway and just look down in that direction because I feel like this is taking a really long time.
Yeah.
And I don't trust Sherris to not come up behind us and stab someone in the back.
Perception.
Ooh.
18.
18. You hear your compatriots and you hear the roiling flame. Other than that, you don't see anything coming down the way.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it seems the chamber is yours.
Wynnleigh is gonna pick up a little rock, cast light on it, so it has some magic imbued in it, and just roll it towards the vines.
Oh.
And see if the vines react at all to having the rock.
You cast that bit of light. You roll it down. Nothing.
I'm not sure if vines are necessarily imbued with spell plague, or
The energy? Are they,
The spell is-
energy?
It would
don't
react
know.
less if the spell was weak. So if you're not casting a terribly strong
Well,
spell,
it
there
didn't
shouldn't
react
be a risk.
at all.
Might be safe, but something strong enough might.
Well, Inqua, what are you thinking about doing?
I do have a way to communicate with foliage, with plants, with the earth. And I can only talk to them about what's happened in the past 24 hours, but I really think since this just happened, maybe we can find out some more information about where these vines go. If Mimi is somewhere else, where my brother is, I don't know. I just feel like
Ask.
something is
Yeah.
compelling me to. But I just fear for, and I'm gonna look back at Osatil and Krelia. Is this something that you would allow me to try? I would not do it here. I'd go back down to where we saw the holding.
You'd be the
Fine,
one taking
but-
the risk.
And I think it may be a worthwhile risk.
Yes.
That is the kind of information that we need. But it is not something that anyone could ask
So
of you.
we could take them out of the room and let him stay here and do it.
But I don't want to risk doing it too close to this area. How far back was you said it was like 10 feet, 20 feet? I'm trying to remember
15 feet to the entrance. The holding vine might have been about a 2-minute walk back.
Can someone accompany me, please, to the... Or should we just do it?
I think it would be better to not split up.
Okay.
That is your brother's workspace. And chances are good that if he needs to have focus to find you, that's where he would go.
He did seem to reach out when I would use magical means before. And he's gonna put his hands together, like kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like you're making a pizza, you know. So like one palm up, one palm down. He's gonna look to everyone. If this like kind of like is this all right to do? Is this all right to do?
Wynnleigh's nodding.
I'm going to
Okay.
gently draw Osatil and Krelia back a little bit so that if anything comes lashing out at Inqua, they're not close by.
Okay. So he's gonna close his eyes, focus, again a deep breath, and then he'll kind of like clamp his hands together, and then he'll lift up, and it'll look like just like a small apple seed, if you will, kind of glowing like a dark forest green. And he's just gonna hold up his hand, and he's gonna go to the area that Wynnleigh had tossed the rock on the ground, bend down, and then put his hand on it, and then cast Speak with Plants on the vine. And so apparently they can have animation, and they have sentience now. And I'm just gonna ask, could you, what has transpired in the past 24 hours? When were you activated?
Okay. You press a seed into the vine, and as your mind begins to link with the network within your hand, I'd like you to make a intelligence saving throw.
+4.
I would stay close enough that if there was a backlash.
No, this is a 7.
7.
Plus the 4.
Oh,
No.
you're right. 11. You're gonna be like, how crappy is your set? It's 11.
Your mind connects, and it goes at a speed that you cannot process this first time around. And you will take 7 psychic damage.
That's fine. That's okay.
Would you like to continue?
Yes.
You wince at the pain as your own brain is accelerating at a pace you are not familiar with. Go ahead again. You need 15.
Okay. Nope. That's a 9.
Even plus the 4?
Oh, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. You know what? Actually, I love this. So what I'll be doing is my hand will be kind of like, you can tell I'm unstable. And then with the reminder, like, I feel like
Yeah,
we'll be reaching out.
reach down and like the warrior grip
Yeah,
of
we'll
forearm to
find-
forearm, gripping his hand.
We'll find that
But it's
to
still-
add to a 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just have to make a chain?
The power of friendship. Exactly. That's what-
Our powers
Yeah,
combined.
exactly.
You'll take another 7 seconds.
Okay, we're gonna keep trying, you guys.
You keep rushing through and you can't. It's going so fast that the information
Guys,
is
anything else I can
incomprehensible. Because if anyone is seeing this,
Sorry. Oh, but continue. Yeah.
if anyone is seeing this, they can help in some way or fashion. Linking up with Isolt does lower the DC a
Oh.
little bit to 17. It's getting harder because you're getting swept up in the current.
Cool. This is a 23.
23.
There we go.
You're able to grasp on something as if you were being pulled along in a river. You're able to reach out and grab a rock, and you latch onto this one piece of information. And as you begin to pull yourself out of this current, you are getting to see almost the whole network of vines. They wrap around and hold the very land that is floating together. It is at once a stability element, but it is also stability for the spell flame. It's kind of funneling it as if it's like funneling the propulsion, if you will. You can't see the bottom, but by connecting with these vines, you get the feeling that almost like a thruster. There's just like spell play just holding the bottom up. As you ask this question of what has transpired in the last 24 hours, the flame was there. It's always been in this room. And after almost like going through a time lapse, nothing transpires for hours. And at one point you just see Sherris like, and he comes out. And again, for hours, nothing happens. Until you see him reappear, not by walking means, but magical means. You see him hold up some pink object, and you see his mouth going.
I really wanted that to get. I really want that to get sped up to like 5 times. Turn James into a chipmunk.
Yeah.
At which point he puts the crystal by his side, and you see him begin to channel some form of magic, and you can watch as the bright blue glow emanates outwards from the large sphere, traveling into the different passageways. You see the ground begin to shake, and the earth begin to rise.
Pink object. Okay.
Pink-purple.
Okay.
Pulls, after he's done casting, you see him bend over, breathing heavily. Make a perception check.
I'm also imagining this like they're like this big, like you can see with this like. Okay. What am I doing? Sorry, what am I doing?
Just roll perception check.
Perception.
Luigi.
Okay. That's an 18.
18.
Sorry. It's so dramatic.
No. I made it less dramatic
Yeah.
with the time
Yeah.
lapse.
It's great. It's great.
You see that?
Yeah.
You swear, though, in those little huffs, you see just the tiniest bit of blue flame coming out.
From him?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
He straightens up, pulls out the pink crystal, and you watch him pace.
Oh. Now you're just doing this on purpose. Yeah.
For about what seems to be about an hour before he leaves.
That's where he was making.
That's where he was.
Of course, none of us know this.
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll. We'll review, but
Yeah.
Well, the important thing, if I'm watching, do I see anything with his eyes while he's connected?
Oh, while his eyes are connected, they are open and ping-ponging like...
Okay, but no spell plague in him. Okay.
Can I ask you, did I see Mimi at any point? Like anything? Or was the flame was just always in this? Okay, gotcha.
And then it gets brought to modern time. You walk in, the rest come in. Wynnleigh walks up, you walk up, you watch the flame, and then you see yourself reaching down to
Very cool. That's very cool.
touch yourself.
Whoa.
Touch my...
And
Okay. I was going to ask if
Yeah.
this can... Because it continues for 10 minutes, but do you want, as DM, to just be like, no, that's all you get? I'm going to ask it other more questions.
is there anything else you'd like to see?
Where is Mimi? Have you seen Mimi? That's what I want to try and... Through this network of vines.
Through the network of vines, it directs you straight into the flame.
And then one last... where does Sheridan, my brother, where is he now?
Yeah, it's a full network.
Mm-hmm. We are connected. It's like Kingdom Hearts up in here.
The hearts, the darkness. It starts going down a path, up and out, down a tunnel. And you see walking, stalking, coming towards you. Your brother is on his way.
He's in this
He's
network.
in the tunnels.
Well, actually, first, thank you. Like, we'll thank the plant, thank the network, and then release everything that was just
like
well, yeah, and it'll come.
Oh, Wynnleigh,
Yeah,
she's used to talking fast, so
Yes,
she's like, yeah.
I got it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, okay.
But well, Sherris is on his way here. This is Mimi is within this contraption, and I saw a blue flame from my brother's mouth. This, and then I'm assuming it's the same. What it looks like.
Similar
Same.
to you, yeah.
This from within his.
You are red dragonborn. His fire would usually be red, wouldn't it?
Correct.
Is spell plague in him? Is that possible?
It might be.
But he is on his way. Could I have told? Would the network have told me? Not tell me a time, but like, would I have kind of gathered?
Distance-wise, you would say
Like
you
10
got
minutes,
about
15?
He's walking.
He's walking.
Like he's not in a hurry.
Mm.
You got about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Reveal that to the group.
Did it seem like he knew exactly where we are?
That's a very good question. How did he look on his way?
Like, was he looking around, or was he like, I know?
Yeah, iron
stalking?
focused.
Stalking.
Yeah.
Stalking. There is a strong possibility.
But not in any particular rush.
Correct.
So he knows we're
But-
here, but not exactly where.
If anything, my brother is nothing but not overconfident.
And there may also not be another way out of here.
Ugh.
There may only be the one way in and out. But yeah, but do any of them go out?
And he
I
knows
talked to
them the
him.
best.
I didn't ask that. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, we have 10 minutes. We can't break this glass in order to get Mimi out. If Mimi is still a physical being, the glass will need to be broken in order to get him out, and doing so will unleash spell plague underneath the city. It will tear everything apart and send the whole place crashing down.
Yeah. Too many people.
I want to ask El Cantor. How did you handle the spell plague that was left in me? Would you be able to handle more of it?
You speak to him and he's kind of, in your mental image, he's just kind of floating there, one leg over the other, arms crossed, and you just see him observing this globe, kind of wistful, if you will. Then he's like, oh, sorry. No. You had only a small amount, my friend, compared to you feel your head just being like turned back to the globe. That's a lot. When I said I sent some this way, I did not realize it was this concentrated. This is, well, a lot. But it is fascinating that your many-toothed friend is within.
If we were to separate him somehow, it was a smaller amount.
Oh, I'm sure we could get a smaller amount. I don't know how much I can play with. Yours was, let's say,
Dilute.
arm's worth. That looks like about, I don't know, several thousand arms.
Okay. Back to reality.
Is there a way that, perhaps, could we recreate, perhaps we are your prisoners, me, myself, Osatil, and Krelia, and you could pretend to have brought us here somehow? I don't know if this
To
is...
Sherris's personal workspace.
I don't know. I'm just trying to... I'm not thinking...
Well, said something. The Blue Flames from Sherris. So Sherris is also part of the Blue Flames.
Or
Is there any
has-
way we can get it out of him?
He could be losing his mind.
That's what I'm saying. Can we get it out of him? Maybe that's the problem he's had all along.
Unlikely.
Since a
looking
child,
over,
since
yeah,
he was
looking,
a
I was
child.
like looking
It was
over to
always-
Krelia. I'm like,
No,
he was
no,
kind of
no.
not a knight. He was kind of a jerk before.
Oh, I know, but,
But,
it's gone up a level.
No, not really. A year ago, he was manipulating and forcing into deals.
That's true.
There was-
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
Kind of glanced at Corellia, shrug a little. He's never been good. I'm sorry.
You do hear when Tim says maybe his mind is slipping, you do recall a conversation in the morning, as brief as it was. He was reviewing his speech on cards.
He'd never needed to do that before.
You could have just wanted to get that speech just right.
Silver tongue. Sorry, this is meta.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. No, that's good.
But yeah, it just tickles at the back of your brain that how often have you seen your brother use cards for a speech? Something.
Sure.
And Darjaan has some good ideas.
Spell plague induced dementia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oof.
Would he be aware of losing his mind? If we can offer to help him, we could maybe negotiate with him.
How aware are people when they lose their mind? Not really.
So I'm just
I
imagining
look at Tim.
Tim walking towards him with a sword. Let me get this filth I got.
Well, and also just because the cause is removed doesn't necessarily mean that all the damage is healed. I mean, Inqua and his memories, that's going to take a lot of work to recover if it can ever all be recovered. Even with the casting mage dead.
So do we stay here, or I don't even know where we would go.
I don't either.
This is probably a bad place to have a fight with a mage.
We're all mages.
Or a great place to have a fight with a mage.
Because he would know, he would need to be careful too.
This might be one of the best leveling grounds.
Especially if we all just stand against the glass. He'd be very careful about what he casts in our direction.
Ooh.
Yeah, we flank the doors once he comes in. Just throw your hand axe at the thing, crack that open, and then it's a fist fight.
That wasn't exactly what I was suggesting.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, those are the kinds of ideas I provide.
Well, but this might give us the chance for Krelia to talk to her father.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we're wrong.
That's true. But
If he's spell plague addled, and I glance towards her, is this really the best time? We don't know how he might react, or his state of mind.
What other time do we have?
Exactly.
I'm hearing
5
the tick,
minutes.
tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes the growing up process happens very fast and sharp.
Don't we know that, Tim?
Yeah, I'm looking towards the entrance we came in from, and just if there's any good things to get behind to blindside him.
This is a largely open room. The only things you could hide behind are the small half globes, which are about 3 feet
There's
protruding.
no nice big roots protruding along an edge to press up behind.
Let's say, yeah, there's some that like penetrate into the walls.
has it been an hour since the river?
Hours since the river?
Yeah.
I would say from the river, it's only been about 30 minutes.
So we haven't been so we still have on us the pass without trace. So if you want to try and stealth something, you have a
Actually,
plus
if
10.
I want to be sneaky, I'll go up to the doorway, levitate up, and hang up at the ceiling.
Okay.
I'll get the drop on him. Don't throw something at me.
Nah, not worth it. Does anything in the room react when he casts a spell of that
point.
Yeah, as you
magnitude?
cast levitate, one of the vines just grabs you by the throat and kills
Just
you.
I mean, you really wanted the session, this game to end in 5 sessions,
Sure.
right?
Done.
Just pulls you
Well,
down.
one down.
One
No,
down,
with a
4 to
bunch
go.
of half trow, he must have like levitated proof the island for, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Well, we also still don't look like ourselves,
Correct.
which might be.
Yeah, but that'll only fool him for like 3
that's true.
seconds.
Let's fool him at all.
But
Yeah.
still,
Um,
it's good.
You levitate upwards. You see one of the thinner vines, maybe about 8 inches thick, just kind of bend up, but that's about it. And then settle back in.
So I just watch it for a while, just like.
I'll look to Inqua and see where he wants to place himself.
I turn to Crelly really quick and just be like, so it appears your father is coming back. Here, you will have a chance to talk to him. But do you see this? And then kind of gesture to that, the spell plague. This may be within your father, so he may not be all together. Just, I want you to know that, so that if things are said or things are done, it may not be him talking to you.
Okay, okay, yeah, no, I get that.
But you will have a chance to speak with him. Also, do you have anything that you could protect us with? That you could imbibe us with? Something to help us in what's about to transpire?
Well, if all of you stay within approximately 10 feet of me, I can lessen the damage from any spells that he might throw around.
Yes.
This is good to know.
As we all look up at Tim.
Well,
Yeah.
Should more of us try to
Okay.
hide, or is that no?
I think there's about 3 minutes left
I don't
to
think
Yeah.
I
figure
can
that
charm
out.
or dominate.
Tim will nod though.
We can't be frightened
you
with
could-
around you, right?
Correct. But if you stay within 10 feet of me, you get a lot
You're
of
good.
benefits.
Yeah.
I mean, not good necessarily, but less bad.
it is not much, but you see her weave some hands. You see a glyph of enchantment appear in the air before, and all the trembling being even near the spell plague, you just feel yourselves all taking a breath and calm a bit.
Emotions.
Ah,
You have a very interesting skill set.
Well, sometimes it is helpful in certain situations to be ensure everybody is calm.
yes.
Okay.
So,
Wherever Inqua takes up a position, I'm at his shoulder.
okay, you're levitating over the doorway that he pointed out. You're out of range of that.
And I'm along the. Mainly, I also want to be so I can touch the ceiling to kind of crawl along. If I need to.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Were there any places to hide?
I mean, there's some vines that like penetrate into the walls. Some ranging from like a 6 feet. It's not a super like dense jungle like mangrove trees, but there are some that you could hide if you crouch down and are feeling real gutsy. You could park yourself down and below one of the little half globes, or you could literally just be behind the giant globe.
Yeah.
I mean, there were.
Oh, we can go all the way around.
Yes, it goes all.
Well, there are other entrances as well, right? So
Yes.
someone could swing behind one of the other pathways if
There's
we're
about
confident he's
7.
going to come out of this one.
Yeah, there's about 7, so 6 of them where you know he's not coming from, and he's not coming from the way you came.
Jared looks at Izzy. Do we stick together or try to hide some of us?
I think this is where we make a stand.
Okay.
I stand
And
with you,
then so
And whether that means not revealing our full force immediately, I leave that to your wisdom.
She's just gonna be going,
Think about it. Think about the lessons that you have learned over the last year. Think of all you have read and all that you have learned, and make your decision.
Don't you hate it when she does that?
I do. It's coming back to me. He's like, ooh.
No. So I stand with Inqua. I can always use my charm.
So we have you as a group.
Yeah,
of
I was gonna
3.
say Inqua will be standing in front of where he knows
Yeah.
he's gonna be coming out. Acetil here, Celia, he'll be holding her hand.
Corellia.
Corellia, why did I say
Celia?
Celia?
Because it does
Celia
kind
is
of,
the old lady in the back in.
Oh, Celia.
and it does kind of look
She
like
shows up.
Celia
Yeah,
if you're
I
just
didn't
glancing
say
at
that.
it.
Yeah, she'll
Corellia.
stand.
Celia sneezes.
Wynnleigh will stand with the group.
Okay. So you're the only one who's hiding.
Odd man out.
She stands alone.
That's our boy.
Yep.
No, it's good to have somebody to back up.
Just take a deep breath, roll shoulders. All right, we'll see what we will see.
You look down the pathway. You wouldn't see it. You would see it first. You see him begin to approach as he rounds one of the corners. He looks down at the pathway, sees all Crinty standing in front of the giant spell plague. All house servants
And some guards.
and some guards. 2
A guard
One
holding
guard.
a house.
One guard. The other one is.
No, it was a guard
older
too.
guards.
Yeah, it was 2.
Oh, true.
But one guard's holding one of their hands, and like the other one, like it's like 2.
Like, what?
We're in
is-
the like late miss
Exactly.
You're supposed to be looking for my
So when I notice that he sees me, I'm gonna do a tiny curtsy
Yep.
Okay.
just to keep him off the balance.
Yeah, I was
a
gonna say,
little while
confuse him a
longer.
little
Yes, I do a little curtsy.
I don't like how long James is taking with this.
He looks down the way. And as he begins to approach, first you kind of see like a light blue silhouette just due to the flame casting light down that way. Not a lot of features, except for 2 green eyes just perched at the top, looking, despite far away, down at you as much as it can. Looks away, looks across. You see his hand rise up. All of your illusions fade away. And he takes all of you in, and you can see just for the moment when he lays eyes on you 3, just a moment of, what the hell?
But my hair's different.
Doesn't recognize you, but remembers these 2 significantly, because you really didn't change.
Yeah. And Isolt is just like hard face, hard eyes, just staring back at him.
and then sees on the end with Osatil and Krelia. Sheridan. He stops at the cavern entrance. Fascinating. Well, this was not my expectation whatsoever. Looks down at Krelia. Krelia? Father? May I ask what has transpired? Because you've been able to evade my gaze for the past few hours.
My friends helped me get to where I needed to be.
Friends. And getting where you need to be happened to be this room.
We'll kind of refer back to the spell plague in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, yes, there is one friend that is not in this group right now and happens to be within this room. And I would like to know how to see that friend again.
Well, I will be forthright with you, brother. I do not think you will be able to see your friend again.
Inqua's eyes are turning a very, very, very bright blue, but is maintaining. But the grip on Crelia's hand is getting a little stronger, unintentionally.
Yeah. You can see her starting to tense up as you are slowly crushing her hand.
It'll be like, breathe through Osatil's calm emotion. Just
Uncle, could you... Uncle...
easing up.
So what am I to make of you three being here?
We heard the happy news and came to wish our friend well. And then discovered that said friend didn't remember us. The months that we had spent together. And then discovered your little plant.
Magnificent, isn't it?
Oh, not this.
She meant the other type of plant.
Your rutter.
Right.
The person that you disguised as Mimi. And left with your brother. Twisting memories, twisting emotions, twisting thoughts. Making it so that everything that he experienced was a lie.
And how could he not remember us?
That would be a question for you, brother.
It's a little difficult to remember things when a mage is in your head twisting them. There are few defenses against such a thing, even when you know it's happening. And when you don't know, don't try to shift this off on your brother.
Speaking of friends, where is the, scruffy one? He, had the scent of Typhon on him, if I remember correctly, the last time.
He also touched spell plague like you, and he didn't make it.
I appreciate that. Those words. As his eyes look upwards. And you know he's like at the entrance of it. But I can smell him. So what is to be done here? I cannot get your Mimi out. You could try releasing him, but then you will all die and kill tens of thousands of people in the process. I cannot draw him out, for that is not my intention.
Is cannot or will not. There is a difference.
I think it would be more on the cannot pathway.
I was merely curious. Your notes are very interesting.
Yes. You took a perusal, I'm assuming.
A little.
You're of a religious type, based on your shield. I remember correctly, one of the Western gods, LaRue.
Excellent memory.
Some of it stays with me. You as well, yes.
And she'll like hold her little amulet.
Were you able to ascertain anything looking them over?
Some little. I am not as familiar with Typhon as I would like to be. I could read the Draconic.
How do you find the script? I know you can read it well enough, but I find that a lot of people feel it is a harsher language.
It has edges and corners, but I think it's beautiful.
I appreciate that assessment.
It has a different beauty than Elvish, but they are both very beautiful languages that I wish I could hear more. So you are channeling your god to control this?
A mixture of all, really. I read a lot, and a millennia ago there were many floating cities. Those were run by mages of great power, but also great hubris, and I can understand by the looks in your eyes you place the same assessment on me.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
But they relied on their own arcane power.
And you rely upon
Everything I can. If you put all, what's the phrase? All the eggs in the basket, and a fox comes by, I can take all the eggs. But what if you diversify? Bring in a little bit of religion, a little of arcane, a little bit of the natural. While, unbeknownst to you, brother, you have been immensely helpful in ensuring this is possible.
How?
Do you not remember the barren rock Dombrith used to be? Element upon element, we shifted, we changed, piece by piece. This is a part of you. looking at the vines.
So your hubris is not that you rely solely upon your arcane energy. Your hubris is that you think you can control all of these kinds of energy. Divine, arcane, natural. There are multiple kinds of casters for a reason.
Yes.
No one can control all of this.
No, that is why I invest in the prosperity of this nation, bringing in folks who could potentially aid in that endeavor. Once being my brother, I am not one for horticulture, but bring someone who has extensive agricultural experience. That's one piece of the puzzle that I can add.
And that is why you brought in all manner of spellcasters.
Mm-hmm. I do not do things foolishly, which is why you all are still alive. What is it you want?
More answers. I mean, why would you do this to your brother if you wanted him to help you? Why didn't you just ask?
Ask.
I
Ask.
know. I like the question, but Ink was just like, it's just like.
I cannot imagine you have seen my brother's dreams. Seeing myself and our father as demons, as tormentors. My father, yes. All of that, and I come to him a year ago. And it is no surprise that he meets me with the same hostility, carrying that weight for decades. So how am I to convince him that I'm older? Still a bit of a pain, but more mature. And yet I'm greeted with a very similar maturity as when he left. So I play the part. I'm pretty sure you have a good mind for that. Play the part, antagonize as the older brother that he once remembered, leaving him with no other option but to return. By striking a deal because you are a dragonborn of your word.
Did it never occur to you to break the cycle? You say you are older, more mature, a better person, perhaps, than you were when he left. You never tried to show that. The Inqua that I got to know a year ago, if you'd tried, he has a good heart. He might have listened. But you came with hostility. You came with the forcefulness. You came with the arrogance. Why would he listen? Did it never occur to you to ask? Instead of forcing your way? He may well have listened, and you wouldn't have had to take the time and expense to change his memories. He may have come back willingly. He's done good work here. I've seen it. The place is beautiful. If he'd come back willingly, with a brother that he had grown to love and trust, you have time. You had time. But you wanted it immediately, didn't you?
Yes.
You didn't have the time to devote to actually building a relationship. And there is your immaturity. You were in a rush.
He sighs. And you can see just that little bit of blue flame.
Sherris, it's not too late.
Oh, it is.
Why?
Our enemies are moving. They were moving. Ever since Krennic hit the bed. Hardly left. Our father left a legacy, no, he left targets on our backs. And rumors spread of another Jarbor out there. How could I protect him if he's miles and miles away?
Could have asked him, could have had somebody come out, find him, and say, hey, this is going on. But no, you didn't do any of that. You just took him over. And hey, maybe you could have got us to be on your side as well. But no. With all your play acting.
You said I had time, I had very little of it. I made choices, ensured bonds. Looks at Sheridan and Ossetil. Sheridan and Krelia. I ensured my family would have a future. You say I did not break the chain. I am ensuring that the chain lives on with these two.
And now your daughter will look at you the way that you looked at your father.
Looks down at Krelia.
With fear, with regret, with anger. You haven't broken the chain. You have continued the cycle into the next generation.
You see just a wistful look over the vines. I stopped being her father when Jadenya died. And now I've ensured her safety, your future, Sheridan. As long as you take Ossetil to be your wife, you will be away from this place. We already have House Hossam Cree on our side. And I took what I had, and I made something of it. This isn't a hubris project, if you will, to say that I brought the world back to the skies. No, I brought security, a future for my brother and my daughter.
And what is it going to cost when the spell plague that you have has burnt out? It is like wood on a fire. It will burn out unless it is fed. And what are you going to feed it? Are you going to feed it the spellcasters that you've brought here? Are you going to feed it more magical creatures like Mimi? This is not sustainable as it stands.
That is a quick question, and I appreciate the inquiry.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yes, it is a difficult question I had asking. I could see that it had immense magical capabilities for it to lift us off the ground. But it would need more fuel. Yes? If you actually looked over my notes, you would know that this island can move. Seek out other spell plague, but I was thinking, yes, eventually you will take up the spell plague. You say I fed Mimi to the spell plague. quite the opposite.
Go
Your
on.
creature was so interesting. I saw it once. It was a pot. And it latched on to a falcon, devoured it all. Thought nothing of it, just your creature being your creature. Come a few days later, another falcon latches it up. And then I see recognition in its eyes. Something is changing, something is revolving within it, and I see it become a falcon. What mimic has ever done that, right? Which begs the question, if it can turn into pots, pans, animals, living things, what is Spellplague? It is magic, it is alive.
What did you do?
A taste at first. Just see what would happen. Hold your Mimi. Fed it just the smallest taste of Spellplague. It shook. It expanded in odd ways. It liquefied, but then came back home. So we try more, and a little more, and a little more, until I realized this creature could accept anything and become anything.
At that, Wynnleigh breaks away and goes back to the glass and puts her hands up and looks at the flame.
Your Mimi. Another thing you've brought me is the reason you have a future. That Krelia has a future, Luinoth has a future, Dombrith has a future. You think their xenophobic tendencies would allow them to expand and fight against an ever-expanding world? I made this deal with the Queen, and she accepted full-heartedly, knowing there is a greater world out there. You get to be a part of that. Fourth daughter. Not first, not second, not third. You get to be a part of it, but you are in no way anywhere close to the political machinations and games I have ensured you and Krelia's future.
Have you? Or have you been played by someone who knows the politics game better than you do? Or have you been tricked into taking on this tremendous risk? You and your people. And all it costs the Queen is a daughter who would be thought not of. To get this city, to get your people addicted to this kind of power, and then cut it off. And then you have to do what she says, or fall out of the sky. Are you sure that you have ensured a future? Or have you set your people up to be taken back over?
Go ahead and roll. Persuasion. At disadvantage.
Okay. It is a 17.
17.
This is not something that I know for certain. But when I stand back and look at the dragon chessboard, those are the pieces that I see in play. You are exhaling spell plague. I can see it on your breath. I know what it does to a body. I've seen it.
Wynnleigh wants to point. And then
You took on tremendous risk for the sake of your people, for the sake of your future, for the sake of your child. Did you make the right choices? Probably not. Do any of us? But in doing, you have set yourself up to be taken over at an incredibly low cost to the Queen.
That is true. I do not know whether her mother's hand has been fully shown, and I doubt that. Whatever happens to me, obviously, I've chosen this path, and I will be dead within the year. I know that much. I would have preferred it not to have a knife from House Hosmkree. I would rather it be it by my own choosing. And potentially still offer a future to Sheridan and Corellia.
Choice. You've just said this repeatedly yourself, brother. Choice. You would choose this. You have chosen this path. But by you saying you have ensured our future, myself, Osatil, Corellia, the city, you have given me no choice. I've had no choice for the past year, 10 months. I did not choose to lose my connection to my friends. I did not choose to lose Mimi to the spell plague. I did not choose to be here. You have manipulated me. You have made the choices for me. So by saying you are ensuring our future, it's through you. I did not choose this. So I don't want to hear you talking about, I would choose this, I would choose that, this is what I would prefer. Because none of us here. This is all done by you. You've given me no choice. I have no choice. I don't know who I am because of you. So I am sick, and I don't know who I am. I did not choose this. So tell me, brother, would you have chosen continuing down this path to lose your daughter? Is that something you would choose? Or is that something, as Isolt has said, is that something that you have started? You've already started this. Look at her. I don't know what she's looking like, looking at her father, but I'm assuming it's not the greatest.
Hearing all of this.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure she's not looking at him that great. Look at her.
Yeah, she's avoiding eye contact at the moment. Like I said, while I ensure
while I hope that she will have a safe future. Those were Those were choices I made.
With no one else's choice, with no one else's input. Sheridan, Inqua, was happy with the choices that he had made. He was a farmer with his beautiful horse, coming to a quiet town for a festival. Because of the choices that he made, because of what he wanted. I've hardly seen him smile in the last couple of days that I have been around him.
Oh, it's only been a day.
Even in times of relaxation, even in times of rest over the last day, I haven't seen him smile. What you chose, what you wanted, the Jarbor brother that you wanted to have in your image. You're going to be dead in a year? Excellent. This will die with you. Because there is no power on Tyrell that can force someone against their will forever. Sooner or later, this will break, and everything that you have worked for will be destroyed. And you will be in one of the hells watching it happen. And I wish it didn't have to be that way. I do. Your kid's a good kid. If you'd spent more time being her dad, instead of letting that responsibility fall to others when your wife died, maybe you could have had a better future. Maybe you could have seen her become an adult and do you proud, the way I know she's going to. But you've given all of that up for your hubris.
Peers his head briefly and looks up.
Spider pig.
Oh, he's not even in the room.
Tim's just caught up in this. He's just like, oh my god.
Leans back into the passageway.
Maybe we should ask if this is what you would want forced upon you, to have this thing that you had to take care of, and what if everybody made decisions for you to have you do this? We came in and said, this guy's going to be the leader now, and you know, you got it. How would you feel?
Those kinds of hypothetical questions, I'm afraid, don't pique my interest.
Okay, all right. Had to try.
I took action. I will say it again. With our father on his deathbed, they were searching for your brother. And while he is happy with his horse on his field, one day they would have taken him here all the same. Or while he's going on a jaunt to a festival, an arrow would just stab him straight through the chest.
So instead of warning him and giving him the tools he needed to make a choice, whether that be to disappear into Waterdeep, where there are quite a few Dragonborn, or somewhere else entirely. Or make the choice to come back instead of arming him with those tools. You made the choice for him without so much as an explanation. And in doing so, you made enemies when you didn't need to. You could have had friends, or at the very least, allies.
To be quite fair, brother, I would have rather died happy, blissfully unaware of this. Back on, apparently, a farm
In Golden Fields.
in Golden Fields, than having to deal with this and see what you're doing to her, to this city, to Mimi.
You can have good intentions until the sun sets at the end of the world. But your impact is what actually matters. And your impact has continued the cycle that created you. And your cycle is going to end with the destruction of everything you've worked for. And I am sorry for that. I truly am. But as you said, you have chosen your path. And now it's killing you. And I'm sorry for that.
When Isolt finishes with that, bold, but I'm gonna take Corellia, her hand. I'm gonna take Osatil's hand. I'm gonna look to these three on the ground and up in the thing, and I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna start walking back out the way that we came in. And I'm just gonna,
Bold.
yeah, just be like, nope. Just start walking back.
You done?
I'm done. I mean,
Yeah.
this is player mad, but like literally everything I think that was just stated in the past 15 minutes or so is such a, like, that is it. He has done, you know. Sherris has done it. He's been bane in the existence ever since knowing him, and now it's just like to find that it's been like, ugh, you just destroyed me. I'm out.
I just have to chime in and say this has been the most brutal D&D combat I've
Yeah.
been. Like, oh, I'm not getting involved in this fight.
Mind play. Yeah. But yeah. And in making eyes with the group, it's one of thank you, thank you, thank you. You've said everything that is needed to be said. You've had my back. I don't know who you really are, authentically, but in this moment, it's like, you get me. And now I'm taking my niece, this woman who is my betrothed, who I don't know very well, but we are literally turning our back on the situation. Whatever happens, happens, but we have to move on, or at least try and get out of the situation.
You start walking away. You feel a natural resistance. Corellia is still walking with you, but there is just a bit of a tension.
Do we all feel it?
He's holding her hand.
I think.
Oh, Corellia's one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Corellia.
I was a little confused too. I thought it was.
Sorry, Corellia
Gotcha.
is.
I thought we're all like.
Yeah.
I want to look down, just kind of knowingly, like, what's up? What's up? And her not saying anything, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
he'll kneel down. If you need to go be with your father, you can. But know that I will always be here for you. If you need anything.
She nods her head emphatically. You won't. You won't hate me.
I won't hate you. Out of the past year, you were the one thing that's been keeping me sane. I will not hate you. I will always be here if you need me.
Just throws her arms around you. Hugs you.
Big squeeze.
One second as I look something up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. She's a shapeshifter. Exactly.
I'm actually Mimi.
Exactly. What?
I am keeping a close eye on Sherris as this is transpiring.
Yep.
Tim will go ahead and drift down, by the way.
His
Are you
emotion was
coming
like
straight down because he's right here?
I mean,
Or are you gonna try and
It's like,
get some
push
distance?
off. No, I don't think he's gonna do anything, and I'm actually like, Tim's like a little in shock from this. This was pretty heavy, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, Tim's just dropping down. Like, I'm so sorry to be in between this.
It's like an emotional scene in a movie and the boom comes into the shot.
He's actually not going to move too far away from Sherris, but he's not doing anything threatening.
He observes as you come down.
And actually, what do you think, Elcantor? More than an arm's worth? And I'm sizing up.
Oh.
You see him in his spectral form.
And I say that out loud.
Ooh.
Do you say Alcantor?
Yeah.
Look at him with my eyebrows very slightly
Pointy.
raised.
And because it's Alcantor, you see him pull out of thin air, just like tiny little spectacles.
That's how he rolls.
Well, opera glasses.
See, I figured doing all the gem crafting, he got the little gem thing. For...
Sure. The loop.
And you all see just the slightest spectral form of a very handsome drow.
We can all see it.
Incorporeal, transparent. He's floating.
Is this the first time we've seen him?
Yeah.
Pointy.
Floating there with a leg crossed, slightly hovering, puts the glasses on. Ooh. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, definitely more than his arm's worth, but he's keeping it in tight.
If he was to...
Yep.
If he was to offer, could you free him of it? It'll do him in sooner or later. And I'm doing a weird thing where I'm staring at Elcantor, but like he's Sherris is right behind.
Yeah,
I think all of us are a bit unnerved.
Yes.
yes, just a random drow is floating. Random transparent drow is floating over the shoulder of Tim.
Just
Is
like
he kind of cute though?
Oh, he's
I was gonna say, it's like, I wasn't expecting him to be this handsome.
he's devastatingly.
Yeah.
no.
Oh, he's dashing.
Yeah.
He's a very he's got the undercut going and it's kind of a swoop
Pointy.
and the
Oh, she's
Why don't you come on up and haunt me
Ridley's
sometime?
Ridley is preening right now.
the spectral form of it is like giving his hair almost like that kind of like
The underwater thing.
yeah, the underwater effect.
Oh.
like
the
make
bangs.
sure
Yeah, I was gonna say you're
whoever makes
I'm
the
studying the hair. I can try to do that. It's like,
Best to do your own win.
exactly.
This was all a mistake.
I'm sorry, Timmy, my boy. I don't believe I could do much for this one. Unless he wants to make a deal, which, you know. And you're hearing all of this in your head. You're not hearing Alcantor say stuff, like any of you. The conversation.
We're just seeing it.
But you do see the mouth moving in spectral form. Unless he wants to make a deal with me, but I get a sense that he's devoted himself to a higher power, because remember, secular ain't about that life.
But I see that Corellia's coming.
Just hugging Sheridan at the moment.
Yeah, that's a goodbye. I've been paying close enough attention to kind of gauge that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll ask Sherris. Would you like to give yourself some more time to make things right with your daughter?
Mm.
You'll have to make a deal.
And that's where you make a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
I mean, I'm not trying to persuade him. This is up to him. But do I take the 17 or the 20?
Wow. I think
Persuasion
it's
plus 2, so it's a 19.
19. Okay.
Well,
You know what? I'll wait for him to answer till his daughter comes up.
Yeah. What would he do?
You were going to be dead within a year. Now you could give yourself more time to make better choices.
Crelia separates from the hug.
go ahead.
She makes the long, quiet walk over to her father. He's a bit perplexed. As she stands by his side, looking up at him, he looks down. You see a momentary pause from Sherris. More often than not, he's had that quick to say something, quick to do something, to know what to do. You can visibly see on his face, he does not know what to do right now. Crelia continues to look up and just hugs him. He blinks and he places one hand on her back. Deeply inhales. And you watch as that happens, what do you do with Ossicue?
Just observe. I'm really not doing anything.
Okay.
We're just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm just watching.
I gave myself this break and now I'm like second guessing.
As you
Bold
always tell us,
choices,
I was going to
James.
say, as you always tell us, bold choices,
choices.
big decisions, make them big.
Okay.
What would he do?
In this altered state of mind. Spell plague.
It might take us a little longer to find a ship out of here, so you have time to think about it.
No, I can't do that. That's not in the rules. Shit.
Oh.
Reading spells and goodness gracious. Before I said anything.
Bold choices. Read your spells.
Sorry, there's a.
You were thinking of something, but you reread it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. You watch as three glowing rings surround Krelia, Sheridan, and Ossetiel. I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Glowing rings?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be good. Oh.
Is he close enough to me for me to help?
He walked away.
Is he more than 10 feet away?
I would say yes.
Okay.
6.
6.
Oh.
Constitution saving?
6.
6. You all watch as those three disappear and appear behind Sherris. He looks back at you, looks at Krelia, looks at Ossetiel, and then presses his hand against the wall. And you watch as the earth closes.
Does it?
Oh.
How close are we to him?
He put you about 40 feet behind him.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. And now he looks at you four. Very well.
I don't know how you keep making the worst possible choice. And yet, you continue to do so. And I just reach back, pull my shield off my back, slide it on my arm. But don't draw my sword yet. Just have my shield hanging loosely at my side.
You still have time.
Very little.
It is not too late to change your choices. You are being offered incredible power to help change your fate.
You are devout, yes?
Yes.
Just gives. Then you should know, shrug.
My goddess rarely asks me to make foolish decisions.
Well, what are you doing on the other side of the wall?
I'm assuming we're down one of the passages, and this thing goes
Directly behind him.
Oh, so we're in the same room.
So.
Huh?
He's staying in the room with us.
Yeah.
You're in the tunnel.
I am in the tunnel
with
behind
the
him.
wall
That-
closed
like,
off.
so it did go.
Yeah.
Can I? Am I gauging how thick it is?
Well, that's a great question as I look at.
Sure. It's annoying.
Yeah, can we hear Inqua like pounding?
Hello, help me. Family, am I right? Yeah, exactly.
You
Stars.
or do you?
I mean,
Russian and-
probably we'll hit twice.
Yeah, and you hit it with the tip of your staff. You know it's about 5 feet thick,
Something that we could get through.
potentially, depending on what you use.
We'll take the bow in a very quick flash, do my little mini ritual, get in the earth, and see if I can sense any type of. I'm assuming it's like just like a sonar ping. If I can see if there's another way around back into this room from one of the other passages.
Yeah. Perception or survival.
Balls.
whichever
Oh,
you
okay, cool. Oh God.
You need to change that dice, my friend.
I do. I only have one gay dice.
Oh, that's
I mean, it's still an 11, but like.
11?
Yeah.
you see a pathway that goes around. Oh, you're getting new dice.
Thanks, Boo.
Yeah.
You see.
Want egg dice? I got egg dice.
Yay! As a
Have
roll.
fun.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Continuity. The dice
Oh,
is a bit-
well,
no,
then
it's
it's
okay.
okay.
No, it's okay. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you ping out, and with that 11, you can see a pathway that will take about, depending on how fast you move, could take about a minute or so to
That's fine.
get around.
Also, do you mind? Do you have any way of lighting our way? As we're kind of like.
You ask that, and she touches just like a piece of jewelry on her. How about her hand? Pew. And there's like. Yes.
Great, follow me. And then take her hand. Quelly, I'm assuming, is following. If she wants to stay there, she can. At this point, I'm just focused on. I know that's awful, but like I'm just focused on getting back in that room.
You start making that journey around.
Yeah, running.
You're booking it. I feel like we would have had great conversation. But as you say, I will die here with my choices. And you watch as a bit of flash, a little bit of lightning begins to spark. And from it, almost corporeally, a lance appears in his hands. And you're the first to see tinges of flame on the blade.
What's gonna happen to them in a year from now if you're not around?
I would have never known.
But you can.
Depending how this goes, maybe.
Metal arms slap across the head.
Ooh.
The spell plague is affecting your mind as it did his arm.
I mean, that's I'm.
Yep. He
Do
does
it.
it. Both choices.
There's
both
no
choices. Both choices.
Like I'm not trying to kill him.
I would say you're about 10 feet away.
It's not a backhand or
You
anything.
take off your arm and slap him with it.
Just Buzz Lightyear ahead of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You.
But no, it's I'm walking up to him calmly and then just smacking him. Like, and it's not. I won't use the metal arm. I'm not trying to be lethal or something. It is a clear, like, I'm not trying to hurt you. It's
Snap out
Snap
of it.
out of it! Yay!
Snap out of it.
Oh man, that's like my favorite movie.
You slap him across the face. Blinks.
take a minute and think.
Looks back at you.
Well, shit.
And it's almost like looking in a mirror. About a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You see, even with green eyes being this close, even more so than with you, just little waves of blue.
And I'm just thinking to how, like, looking in a mirror, seeing my eyes now. Okay.
And that's when... Oh, apologies, 1 second, getting a message. Okay, yeah. Yes, sir, I can get that done for you right away. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I have some business to attend to. I know, right at a very exciting part. But I promise, we'll get into the final confrontation in just a bit. But as you can see, I do run a business here, and unfortunately, that is something I have to attend to right now. All right. Well, take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Close the door on your way out. Appreciate it.